Good evening, day, morning, whatever it is, citizens of Itza, or just viewers who are dropping by and you hate Itza. Either way, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Back in the Itza campaign, we're going to pick things up where we left off, which was beating the crap out of the Order of Lore Masters. That's right. Been giving them the business. Anyway, I'm going to go check to get some of your input, and we will throw that in here and then get started. So, first off, from episode 9, and no, we're not talking about the upcoming Star Wars film that may have me triggered, there was some comments. Dark Soul apparently enjoyed my comment about, well, here, I'll read it. It says, there was a clog by the gates, so I had Lord Croak drop some rat Drano in there. He says, alright, fine, now you get the bell. I normally only sub, but I grant you the bell, sir. That made me cackle. Well, you know, I'm glad that my lame jokes make more people, well, I don't know that. Actually, probably most people click the dislike button, and then a few, like Dark Soul, decide to click that bell. But thank you, good sir. Hope you enjoyed that. I hope you're enjoying the series. Will H says that we should have added a comment about they do move in herds, and then it goes to a cutscene of a big pack of cold ones stomping all over the fleeing Skaven. That was in reference to all the Jurassic Park jokes. So people like that. And then, of course, Regina is accusing me of not making nice with Teclis, just so that I could make her sad. I feel my fingers shifting towards that dislike button. If you all see dislikes on this campaign, it is Regina and any fake account that she decides to set up. And she's free to do so. I'm beating on her elves once again, and I know better than doing that. All right, and then we had a comment on episode 10 from the S show, the crap show. He's trying to get me to say it. He's trying to get me to break my own rule. That's okay. It's clever. I like it. And speaking of clever, he wants me to name one of the Carnosaurs Clever Girl. You know what? I approve of this idea, and we will be doing so. I'm just trying to remember where I parked where did we park our Carnosaurs? Over here with Henok. All right, so here we go. This is Clever Girl, the Carnosaur, named after our Jurassic Park references. And apparently, too, we had one more here. Dagdamore thought it was hilarious watching the eagles charge, or the eagle charge the 4 Carnosaurs. Yeah, it was a mess. He says, "Oh no, baby, what is you doing?" What's he doing, indeed? When Ikit falls, he self-detonates. You know what? That actually makes sense. You're right, Devin. You're right. And that was Devin saying that actually makes a lot of sense. I didn't notice that before, but he does, and that's pretty cool. This is a cool thing to add in. Anyway, hey, thank you all for, hang on, name him John Hammond for the old guy for Jurassic Park. Good job, Stefan. That's actually a good idea. We're going to name our Saurus Old Blood John Hammond here. And there we go. So since he's leading the army of dinosaurs, we have to leave it appropriate. And if we get him a hero, maybe we can name him after Ian or Dr. Grant. Anyway, thank you all for the feedback. Please continue to throw in your comments about what you think I'm doing right, wrong, what you want to name things, what you think we should be doing. I love the comments. I read them. I don't get to respond to all of them, per se. I should probably just do better and find a way to get it done. But I do love reading your comments, so thank you for putting them in there. It is always appreciated. Let's see, Gor Rok, I think we're going to work on his own strength here. There's not many Skaven around for that to be a big thing against anymore. It gives him a little more weapon strength against everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. I want him to have, like, max weapon strength. It's a pretty big deal. And then Gustave has picked up some upgrades here as well. Ooh, we definitely want to crank up that weapon strength. Crank it up all the way. And we got the Lizard Wizard here. His friend Hola the Skink is injured still. And Lizard Wizard is getting really close to Arcane Conduit. This makes me very happy. I love being able to pull down ridiculous amounts of Winds of Magic. Ridiculous amounts is just the right amount when it comes to Winds of Magic. Just the right amount. However much you can get, plus some. Go ahead and spend a little bit of money there in the mosquito swamps. See if we can help stabilize things a bit. It's been a little bit rough. A little bit of Ikit invasion on and off. Leaves a bit of Skaven stink in the lands. It's hard to get that stink out. You know, you gotta really, really clean the carpets good after you get the Skaven out of there. Those guys just don't know how to make it to a chamber pot. Or even know what a chamber pot is, for that matter. Alright, here we go. We can issue a commandment here, and it's going to be pretty strong. The geomantic web strength is all the way up to level 4 here. So that was one of our objectives, by the way, was to build up some crazy good geomantic web. And we are working on it. We are working on it. It's getting better, and we will continue to make it even better. We're only at tier 2 here, but still, we'll take it. And I think I'm probably... You know what? Let's go ahead and upgrade Mouth of Kerveza so I can build some walls there. We do need to get the vortex rituals underway because it's going to take a long time. I'd really like to get Teclis to shut his face and quit fighting for a couple of turns, but I don't think he's going to be very cooperative.
Get on with it.
Man, that's actually pretty good, Teclis. That's actually pretty good. That's my kind of diplomacy. If I didn't hate you so much, I might like you. I hate him.
You need me? I bid you welcome in the name of the king.
That was seriously good. Wow, I mean, if you don't take this, you got, I mean, a lot of elven trinkets in your head, like stuck in your brain.
I cannot do this.
Wow. Wow, this guy must be Teclis's, like, secret best friend.
Good. I've got some big game to hunt.
I got some big game to hunt. Wow, that guy is right on cue with the accent. I love it. Love it. Alright, wait a minute. Did I just trade with New World colonies? Wow. Where is your brain, son?
We are on satisfactory terms.
Where is your brain? Well, I guess that I can't be blamed because I'm just following what Mazdamundi's doing. Really shouldn't be trading with the Warm Bloods. What up, son? Oh, great. Now he wants a non-aggression pact. I guess. Whatever. I really ought to, like, go punish myself for making diplomatic agreements with the Warm Bloods. It just feels wrong. But I have all those trade agreements with the elves. I mean, I feel like I'm doing the big thing, just making money. It's all about the bottom line, and I'm using that money. Like, I'm trading with the elves, but then I'm using that money for a war with the elves. So, you know, I guess it's still satisfactory backstabbery at work. I think I can be okay with that. I think I can be okay with it. I don't know, you all might disagree. The Ziggurat of the Old Ones. Ooh, recruitment of Stegodon, Engine of the Gods. Yes, please. Yes, please. I will take one. Maybe 3. Or 4. 10. Something in that neighborhood. More of them, please. Our Saurus army here, we need a little cavalry. We need a little cavalry. I've got 1 unit, which is the Papapak cohort. I would like 1 more unit of cavalry in this army, and I'm just trying to take a look here. I mean, the Blessed Saurus are better. Quite a lot better. So I hate getting rid of a triple gold chevron unit, but I do need to get some more cav in here. Probably at least 1 more unit. I think 1 more unit is actually probably enough. What do you all think of this army in its current state? My plan is to trade the Chameleon Skinks for like some Bastiladons with solar engines and stuff soon enough. Not that I don't like the Chameleon Skinks, they're good. I'm just trying to make, you know, just like a heavy-duty army here. Oh, I gotta have more money to recruit stuff. Ah, dag. Alright, you know what? You know what? Where was one of those buildings that I put? I can hold off on... well, that one has been underway for a turn, actually. Let's hold off on this Ziggurat. Well, no, because I really want that Ziggurat. A lot. Let's hold off on this. There we go. Hold off on that one, and it should give me enough money to maybe recruit a Horned Ones here. Yeah. Where are the Horned Ones at? Cold One Riders. It's not what we want. We want Horned Ones. Ooh, that weapon damage. They're not anti-large specifically, but, I mean, they have overall, like, kind of nicer stats. Quite a lot more melee attack, so I'm going to go ahead and... Wow, 4 turns? Screw that. Man. Now I already, like, disbanded my Saurus warrior. I don't want to wait 4 turns. That's way too long. But now I'm too far away and I disbanded my Saurus warrior because I'm really not very intelligent, apparently. I guess we're waiting 4 turns. That's actually really frustrating. That is a very long time to recruit a cavalry unit. Oh well, I guess it's 2 under normal circumstance, and now it's 4. Anyway, let's end the turn. Gotta quit my whining. We are about to have a rebellion up at the Sar Tower, so let's shimmy on over there. You know, actually, let's take the long road. That way the, oh no, we can go ahead. I'll have to raid on the next turn or something, like force a rebellion so that we can go ahead and get it over with. Anyway, I think I'm done for this turn. Alright, it's now a few turns later. Hexatl confederates with Cult of Sotek, and that actually ticks me off pretty bad because none of the factions on here would even begin to think about confederating with me, and I really wanted Tehinoan in my armies, but I don't know how much of the Cult of Sotek was left. They were getting beat down by the Court of Libaris, who we are going to have to beat up. It's really just a matter of time. I can't get Teclis to take a peace agreement because this guy is floating on money because of being AI. And we can't get him to surrender because for every army we kill, he's got like 3 more. And in fact, one of his armies is hidden somewhere in an ambush stance halfway over here to Temple of Clara. He had approached Laxland and is now moving that direction. I'm going to try and spot his ambush. We can't probably reach all the way to where he's at, but I'm going to kind of push up. There he is. He's not actually in an ambush stance. He was just in between where we could see him. And he's got a pretty solid army here. This is a pretty good army. We don't want to underestimate this. I don't have quite enough Kroxigors in this army. I don't really want to face him. We can kind of be bait here. If he turns around to attack me, might pull back, try and buy some time. Gor Rok will have his horned ones in the next turn, and he's totally capable of taking on the army of Teclis at the moment. We're going to let that rebellion happen at the Star Tower. We've got another one on the way here at the Headhunters Jungle. Just do what we can. Do what we can. I could throw in some public order, but I'm actually going to start with the Geomantic Pylon because it's one of my objectives here, is to get that pylon strength up as high as we can get it. Let's see what else we can build that may be of use to us. Probably start putting up defenses it lacks. And let's upgrade the settlement. Upgrade to Skink Barrios. And then we can move our army here, but I don't wish to, because I'm waiting for the inevitable rebellion here. So let's skip that. Rebellion coming. Ready to end the turn. We should have some action on the next one. So Teclis did pull back to attack me. I don't believe that I want to fight this. For challenge sake, I could. Those sword masters are going to be seriously dangerous. I think it'll be a fun challenge, though. I kind of want to take this one on. Let's do it. Alright, folks. Welcome to the battle. Teclis has a legit chance of leading his force to victory. Gustave's army is not meant for this type of heavy combat. The red-crested skinks are a light infantry, and they aren't bad, but up against sword masters of Hoeth, they are going to be very, very challenged to get this job done. I also don't have proper anti-large, except for just my unit of Colossedon hunters, and they are very busy chewing on a Flamespire Phoenix. You can see that going on over here. They are more than capable of wrecking this Flamespire Phoenix. They're going to absolutely trash it, send it packing. So that's what's going to happen there. It is out. So one Flamespire Phoenix down. There is one more still over here fighting. You can see the battle has engaged. I'm using my Umbral Tide, but I don't think flaming ammo is spectacular against this. I've used the Curse the Midnight Wind to try and help myself out a little, and I take my skink cohorts with javelins. I want to push towards the archers. I also leave a Chain Lightning, but the Chain Lightning pretty quickly moves off the top of most of their archers and kind of goes on a mostly useless path until it finally kind of actually gets into the back of these sword masters and does just a pretty good amount of damage there before it goes away. So I am using my army ability here, which is dropping their missile damage and accuracy, but they are still causing tremendous damage to me. The Colossedon hunters were able to get over here into the Eagle Claw, but some nearby Silver Helms came to intercept. can see over here that we're still having to tie down Swordmasters, and the Swordmasters are just laying waste to my poor skinks, but my heavier units are holding on and fighting quite well, in fact. Teclis is more than you would think in this battle. Take a look at these stats here. 60 melee defense. Yeah, and he's got the Sword of Teclis, which is going to drive that way up potentially as well. We have a massive fight on our hands. Our Umbral Tide charges in to try and stop the archers and just starts getting absolutely wrecked by the archers that aren't busy. And we are having a hard time tying down all the archers. My Amaxon Barbs back here attempting to do so as well. Colossedon Hunters, everything I can, just pushing into their archers full force. And you can see that I'm having to bring units back from routing. Gustave is facing a Flamespire Phoenix and Swordmasters of Hoeth. He is getting a workout today. And the Elven Archers, although a little bit blobbed and somewhat challenged to stay back and firing. Shadow Warriors, Sisters of Avalorn, Lothern Sea Guards, some very tough units here. The Flamespire Phoenix just regenerated, unfortunately. And now we're going to get Lothern Sea Guard coming into combat as well. I'm going to have to use my Stegodon to try and deal with that. We've got our Blessed Stegodon over here, fortunately doing some big work for us. Very important. I'm going to use my Colossedon Hunters, get in here, try and tie down Sisters of Avalorn. We are doing everything we can to swing this battle. And look, Teclis has come after Gustave, and I was like, alright, this will be good. We'll just finish off Teclis, and then this battle will swing in our favor. No problem, right? Except I can't touch Teclis. And look what he's done to Gustave. Gustave is almost dead. Teclis came in and used his special abilities. I'm going to try and get up here on him where you can see it. Yeah, look at that, 87 melee defense, and he's healing like crazy. So I can barely touch him, and he's healing, and so the battle is actually teetering in the balance here. Because of this regenerated Flamespire Phoenix, I'm in rough shape. I put another Chain Lightning down right in the middle of a bunch of their infantry. Unfortunately, again, it moves off very quickly. Minimal damage, but at least we did take a few Swordmasters down in the process. The Archer Blob is thinning, though we have some serious stuff to contest with still, and I know I'm not zoomed all the way in, but it's because this battle is close. My cohort of Huatl here, thank goodness, these electrified brass knuckle magic crocodiles are punching their way through everything in an absolutely marvelous fashion, helping to carry the day. And my other Kroxigor unit here too, also just marvelously helping to keep me alive. Teclis has just been an absolute tank here. I just cannot kill him. He is still barely touched in terms of how many hit points he has left. Just out of curiosity, I know not real cinematic, but I'm going to pause it just to kind of show you all how many hit points Teclis has healed off. Look, right here. He's healed off over 1,400 hit points, and it's been very difficult for me to get to him and kill him. So we're going to try it again. I'm trying to blob as many units here as I can, get in here and put as much damage on Teclis as we can. I've got Kroxigors, I've got a Stegodon. The Archer mess is starting to get cleaned up, though there's still just a few Sisters here. We're going to need a good face punching in order to silence their arrows, and there's more in the back that just keep coming back from routing. The Umbral Tide not giving up despite some very challenging odds that they're up against, so an impressive performance on their part. And this Flamespire Phoenix just almost refusing to die. Teclis finally runs out of healing, so we might have a prayer. And the power bar does finally start to swing in my favor now that he can't heal. And we're starting to finally put some damage in on him, but his Flamespire Phoenix is headed over, attempting to guard their lord a little longer. Fortunately for me, though, Gustave has a lot of help in here that he just desperately needs right now. Desperately needs. You can see there that we're able to put the High Elves to a rout, but it was a desperate fight. A really good one, and a fun challenge, and honestly, I'm just downright impressed with the way that Teclis fought here. Holy mackerel. Teclis was invincible. It's like he was healing off all the hit points, 60 melee defense, and then even more sometimes. I've never seen Teclis be able to take such a beating. That was absurd. Absolutely absurd, and his army was very, very challenging. That was fun. It was definitely a fun battle. We took some losses in that one. That was brutal. Thank goodness for the Blessed Stegodon, the Colossedon Hunters, and Irwin's Immortals. If it wouldn't have been for some of those units taking out, I mean, and good grief, man. Gustave, he had to really get after it there. I mean, normally he just tanks everybody, but Teclis, like I said, he couldn't even be hit. He was like such high stats there, it was absurd. Alright, so the turn has ended. The turn has ended. We're not in range with Gor Rok to finish off Teclis. His army is very small, and we got quite a bit of replenishment on the last turn, so Gustave should get the pleasure of putting the finishing touches on Teclis here. I know that he's a little bit beat down, but I personally want to see to this because I'm unhappy about the way he was able to survive in the last battle. Alright, because of his prior performance, I didn't feel like Teclis deserved to be auto-resolved. I feel like he earned the right to be personally fought by Gustave. So I'm going to use my dinosaurs and everything to shut down what was left of Teclis' army. So you can see the Sisters of Avalorn here being overwhelmed. I let my skinks take a break. Those poor guys had to earn it in the last battle. And I've got my salamander hunting packs on the flank. I could use them to defeat Teclis, and he does start to run away, but Teclis, realizing that he's the one that started this war and he does need to man up, realizes he's going to have to come face the Croc. And the Croc is out for revenge. He is not happy about the last battle, but let's take a look once again at the stats on Teclis when he starts using all this. Look at this. I hit him with Curse of the Midnight Wind, but still 87 defense, 488 weapon strength, 51 attack. Good grief, look at that. Now it's up to 77 because my Curse of the Midnight Wind is over. I'm using everything I can to try and do some extra damage with Gustave, but I mean, Teclis is just nuts here with the abilities that he has. He is going to put up a tremendous fight against the Croc. Oh my gosh, what a punch. I don't know how Teclis is standing after that. He's got a couple of silver helms here, fighting in a very, very dishonorable way. They're trying to hit me in the back rather than letting two lords here duke this out. Croc to elf. That punch, man, that just looks gruesome. Can you imagine just getting slugged like that by a giant Croc? Ow. This game is awesome. This game is absolutely awesome. I still can't get over, like, I see a lot of people like complaining there's not more historical Total Wars. Yeah, no thanks. No thanks, I'm good. More of this, please. Epic battles between epic characters that you care about. You're spilling points into them, time, a little bit of role-playing element in it almost. I mean, this is just awesome. So much better. This battle was incredible too. Look at Teclis. He's still just not dying. He just routs due to army losses. I mean, an absolutely incredible fight. Wow. Just wow. That's all. I mean, I don't even know how to describe, like, how tanky he is. And that is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. He darn near downed a Kroxigor Ancient who's sporting bonus versus large right now. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Defeated Teclis, so we get extra wins of power reserve. Nothing too great there, but hey, we'll take it. That is, I'm downright impressed. Like, I am actually impressed at how tough. I've never seen anything like that in my campaign so far with Teclis. Wow. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool indeed. Alright, well, let's just work on our characters here. We're going to have to get some units re-recruited into this army. This army needs a little more oomph in it anyway, so the loss of a few of those red-crested skinks probably will make a nice opening to make this army a little tankier. We now have all of our army put together here with Gor Rok. Something tells me that Teclis is still gonna be, yeah, he wants nothing to do with peace. I just can't get this guy. It's like he just doesn't know when to call it quits. I'm gonna push forward. The High Elves don't have any defenses in this area. They have quite a lot down here, and we'd have to watch out for potential invasion. Hexatl made peace with them, which doesn't mean that they may not push through those lands to try and get me. I need to take John Hammond over here to deal with the Clan Scryer rebels. Don't want any more Skaven influence here. We've had just about enough of that. I can't finish him on this turn, which is probably good because the public order's still kind of on the upward turn here. And then we're about to suffer some rebellion at the other province there. So, I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. That is just crazy. Crazy. You know what we could do, though, is probably go ahead and fight the battle for the Shield of Aeons. So let's do that to kind of wrap up this episode. And I will see you all on that battlefield. Gonna be a tough one. A lot of enemies here. A whole lot of enemies. Alright, the battle for the Shield of Aeons is on, and we have a lot of ground to cover. And I'm going to immediately take my Pop-Ha-Pok cohort and my Poha Sentinels, Chameleon Skinks, and then a couple or 3 units of Saurus here, one of which is spear-armed. I'm going to send the Saurus to help Lord Slep over here, because he's in trouble. And then on the far flank here with more Vampire Coast, we've got the other Lord here who's also going to get himself into quite a bit of trouble. If either one of these Lords dies, then we lose the battle, despite the fact that we can win it. So they have to stay alive. Immediately I'm going to start fighting the Skaven, and I'm going to look to KO these Skaven as quickly as possible. The Warlock Engineer, you can see him in his Doom Wheel over here, close to the Shredder of Lustria. Croak knows how to clean up a Skaven fight in a big hurry. And Itza will be delivered by the Great Toad here. You can see the Warplock Jezzails working my giant Dread Saurian in the background. It would be hard for them to miss at this point, but I do have a little surprise for them. My newly recruited Horned ones are going to be fantastic for this type of cleanup duty. High attack, high armor piercing, quick moving, very good units for this type of cleanup to make sure the Skaven can't come back from routing. So those Warplock Jezzails are going to be forced to flee, and the Skaven army is already absolutely crumbling. I've got units wrapping up the flank. The only real substantial unit they had over here was the Hell Pit Abomination, but it's engaged by the Star Chamber Guardians and the Thunderous one. It will not survive this engagement. The Skaven are in big trouble already over here. Big trouble. And the Horde ones are already paying themselves off by making sure that all these routing units can't come back, and that all the missile units for the Skaven are useless. So these Horned ones doing absolutely stellar work here, and they will get a lot of kills and ensure that I don't have to refight all this Skaven rabble. Now in the middle here with Lord Slep, I believe that's his name, yep. So he is engaged with a whole bunch of filthy vampirate scum. He has two ancient Stegodons with solar engines, or sorry, with Engine of the Gods, but the AI is just awful at using them, and I mean awful. Here we're going to be able to help take out the Vampire Fleet Captain. If you don't come over and help, sometimes Slep tries to take him out himself and gets himself killed. But with my Saurus here, we'll be able to easily mop up the center, and then on the far flank, my forces are able to get over here. The Poha Sentinels took out the artillery unit relatively quick and are doing some good work now there. The Pop-Ha-Pok cohort was able to punch through, kill a few guns, and get into a good position. Actually, they're still fighting these guns. This is the Pop-Ha-Pok cohort here. So I've got them killing some pirate gunners, and my Chameleon Skinks are moving into position now. So I'm going to pull the Pop-Ha-Pok cohort out of that fight, bring up the Chameleon Skinks, and get ready to start cleaning up some crab gunners over here. They are well armored, but my Chameleon Skinks cause enough damage that they'll be able to get some work done. Now, there's a giant rotting Leviathan in here that is threatening to kill the friendly lord here, and it's a very dangerous situation. Nakai can easily get himself killed if he gets overwhelmed over here by the rotting Leviathans. So it's something you got to take care of. So I'm going to bring in the Papa Pot cohort. Nice armor-piercing, anti-large capabilities, and we will get in there, get this rotting Leviathan, and put it down once and for all. Now that said, the fight with the Skaven has cleaned up, and I'm now just marching at full speed because Lord Zlep is suicidally charging straight into Luther Harkon's reinforcing army that's now moving onto the battlefield. You can see they have deck droppers, Johnny Depthguard, they've got a rotting Leviathan and a 2 Necrofex Colossus, and then Luther is here himself on his Deathshriek Terrorgeist. So there is a significant threat here. Again, if any one of the friendly lords gets picked off, it is game over. In order to distract the attention of the Vampirates, I summoned this Skink Avatar. This is one of my army abilities. Used him to drop a comet on a bunch of their infantry that was all bottled up on the Engine of the Gods. And then this has bought enough time for my Saurus warriors and Temple Guard to help arrive on station and support this fight. So here comes my first wave of troops. And I'm able to get in here and make sure that Lord Zlep doesn't immediately die. But you can see him, again, just suiciding straight into Depthguard with polearms. Now, meanwhile, there's a pretty nasty fight going on over here. In order to make sure Harkon doesn't get to Nakai, I've used my Chameleon Skinks and my Poha Sentinels to get his attention. He's over here trying to chomp down all the flyers, but he is enduring an absolute hail of poisoned javelins and darts, and will not be in great shape. The armor on this Terrorgeist is just not high enough to really give him any significant protection against this. He can't catch up with me because of the poison effect, and we're going to be able to control Harkon relatively well. Meanwhile, fortunately for me, one of the Necrofex Colossus just can't make up its mind. The Lord Zlep, look at him in here, just getting absolutely trashed. So this is still a very dangerous fight for me. I'm able to get the Thunderous one and our Shredder of Lustria into this fight. This will help. It will help significantly. My Horned ones, meanwhile, are able to get to these deck gunners in the back. We're not going to let them just sit here and shoot up our troops. So again, just fantastic cleanup crew here. They are going to be chased by some Depth Guard. Look at this, 112 kills. And this unit of Horned ones is gaining chevrons fast. They're going to be doing some stellar work. Lord Zep actually just about dies, gets routed, fortunately, and somehow the Vampirates aren't able to clean him up, so that was a narrow, narrow miss. And then over here, Luther Harkon knows how to win the battle, and so he charges Nakai, trying to get a kill on Nakai. Fortunately, the AI is, you know, just kind of mindlessly walking him somewhere else, and Nakai the Wanderer just barely gets away while I'm able to sneak in the Papa Pot cohort and the Poha Sentinels and everything, and just bring the kitchen sink to pin this guy on the ground, and then bring in my Chameleon Skinks for the execution here. So Luther Harkon almost ending the battle in a bad way, and Nakai is coming back. He's like, oh hey, I'll get myself killed, and I'm not going to let him do it. I'm going to kill Luther before he can get himself killed. So Luther is now out, and that means that his Vampirate scum should be close behind him. You can see here that we've got a lot of troops. There's some Fire Leech Bolas in the background, and I finally got Lord Croak into range, and this infantry blob that just wouldn't die is going to be sent back to the depths by Lord Croak. And the Shredder and the Thunderous one able to get in here and exert enough dominance in this fight, along with my Saurus warriors, to get in and make the finish. And it'll be a very close finish because Lord Zlep has come back and is attempting still to manage to get himself killed. He is very desperate to do so, but he won't be able to accomplish it now. The last of the Vampirates go down, and the Shield of Aeons is ours in a mighty battle.